That wasn't convincing. We're going to do better than that. Is everybody having a good day? That's more like it. Well, it's about to get a whole lot better because up now we've got the best part of the show. We've got the Crocs. And making his way out is Murray. He's about 13 feet, 350 kilos of the world's largest species of reptile. And with his help today, hopefully we're going to show you guys just how amazing these guys are at hunting, but also just how easy they are to live around. Because despite what the media might have you believe that these guys just come tearing across the surface of the water and death rolling down your Land Cruiser, it really couldn't be further from the truth. Come unstuck in crocodile territory, you have to be the one who makes the mistake. And sometimes that mistake is as simple as this, standing far too close to the water's edge. But the biggest mistake people make is going down into the water. This is what gets people unstuck up in crocodile territory. They make that mistake of entering the water, and that gets the crocodiles real fired up. So now that Murray's ready to go, it's all yours, Nick.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, give it up for Murray, isn't he? An awesome crocodile. Now, that is a perfect example of a strike from a saltwater crocodile, but you have to remember, in the wild, it wouldn't be crystal clear water, it'd be deep, dark and murky, and you would have absolutely no idea that there is a massive animal beneath the surface of the water, only a few metres away. Now, he will strike for one of two reasons. Number one, you've just seen it, he's got to eat. He will strike to grab himself a bite to eat. But saltwater crocodiles are also the most fiercely territorial of all 27 species of crocodilian found on the planet. And I think we should probably put that to test. What do you reckon? Should we get Mick back in the water to infringe on some territory? Who wants to see Mick do something really dumb? Can't put that amazing haircut to work.
Thanks, mate. You're meant to be my boss. You're meant to look after me, but anyway. Come on, mother. Alright, so you can see, as soon as I get back in his water, straight away, he's onto it. So I'm getting out. So over here, this bloke can actually hit this fence in one go. So if I sound nervous at any point, because I am. Looking at the big chicken, holding the little chicken. Oh. How is that? Isn't he awesome? But you can understand why we get nervous getting this close to these massive animals, because in his head, he's got more jaw pressure than any other animal on the planet. Over 3,000 pounds per square inch closing jaw pressure. Means that if he were to grab hold of something like a pig skull, he can actually crush it like we can crush a paper cup in our hand. Absolutely phenomenal. But Crocs will hunt in other areas, so Nick's going to show us that.
Thanks, mate. Now, you've seen him strike, like Mick said, from the edge of the water, but what we're going to show you now is not a trained behaviour. This is something that all crocodiles will use, and from the time that they're little hatchlings. Now, believe it or not, Murray used to be 17 centimetres long, absolutely tiny, and he would launch himself up and out of the water and catch things like frogs and insects in the reeds. But he will use that method to catch himself a bite to eat throughout his entire life. And when you're as big as Murray is, anything that is overhanging the water is a potential food source, including silly zookeepers. So we'll see how we go. So he'll angle his head up and then really put that tail to work. Well, that's what I'm talking about. Now you consider that's about 350 kilograms of weight in about chest deep water. So the amount of power in his tail to propel himself up and out of the water, he can get his head above this top rail. Give him one more go. So this is how he'd be sitting out in the wild. He wouldn't be showing himself. All he'd have exposed above the surface are his eyes, his nostrils and his ears. Now, in a murky, massive river system up in Australia, northern Australia, you would have no idea that it's a crocodile. It's like a log or a stick.